Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. I'm here with Kalvis again. This time, chapters, is it 9 and 10 already?
Yes, 9 and 10. We're almost there.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. I think I've never gotten this far because I tried with Connor before, or maybe this is where we stopped last time. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So, like, has any of the stuff from last week, really sunk in? Or like the previous weeks, even?
Um, well, yeah, I think one of the most important chapters is probably chapter 2, right? Where it talks about the 6 step process of first of all deciding exactly what you want, and then how are you gonna get there, etc., etc. And I always like in these following chapters, they keep talking about chapter 2. Like I guess once you get to a certain chapter, they always remind you, okay, chapter 2 is like a specific goal, and then it
Mm,
talks about other things related to that chapter 2 because it's kind of important. But yeah, definitely also last week also helped talking about the chapter of organized planning and decision making as
mm,
well, because in my life I'm not the most organized person. uh I usually do things in more unorthodox ways, I would say.
mm.
And uh and same with like decisions, like they describe in a book that you have to make decisions quickly, and just it's just decision is like a muscle, right? You can make this decision, that decision, and you can train and you can become better at making better decisions. But it's
Yeah,
important to actually start making decisions, start like taking some action, uh,
that's true, man.
rather than indecision and just wondering, should I do this and that? And I've definitely seen in my life that I've definitely wondered a lot. Like I would
Mm.
be like, oh, should I do this and that? I've always been that kind of person. So it's kind of nice that becoming a little bit more conscious and aware of this, and probably going to be helpful along the way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel, yeah, like now they mentioned that, like, about making decisions, like when you just take action, even if it's like the, let's say, the right or the wrong action, but as long as you
Right,
take it, you're gonna learn something. And actually,
exactly.
like you will learn more from the wrong one.
Right. And at least you're following, quote unquote, your heart or maybe your gut. It's not like
Right.
you're always following other people's opinions and stuff like that, which could be
Mm.
nice, sometimes beneficial, but you should like follow your heart, I would say. It's the same with the people that are on their deathbed and they have like some regrets in life. One of their biggest regrets is like, they wish they would live their life like true to themselves instead of living a
Yeah.
life like just because to please other people.
Mm.
So I guess it's important to find what's close to you and just do whatever it takes and just make decisions, even if it's the wrong ones, just learn from it. And so I guess, yeah, that's a good reminder to follow something like that.
Yeah, like, I'm loving these chapters right now because like I'm not like right now I'm not like exactly playing the Think and Grow Rich game.
Mm.
I'm not trying to get money at this exact moment. I'm trying to get something else really specific that I don't want to say what it is, but I'm just gonna say that everything in this book is helping me with that. Especially
Okay.
the one we just read about persistence.
Mm. Awesome. Yes, persistence.
Because
Chapter
like,
9.
dude, everything from the book is like I can see it happening now that when your desire is big enough, all of the other
Mm.
stuff is easier to do. Like the persistence is like you just feel like, dude, I have to fucking do this.
Mm. Right. Yeah. Awesome. All right.
And what you
So,
mentioned before actually makes sense now. The thing about the three energies, right?
mm,
It was what you said,
three energy,
love, sex, and what else?
love, sex, and fate.
Yeah,
The three
dude,
major positive emotions together with thought. It's
dude.
powerful stuff.
That's true, bro. That's true. Okay, we'll see what happens
Yes,
later. So what was your take
exactly.
on that persistence chapter?
Okay, so we're talking about chapter 9 and 10. So, chapter 9
Yeah.
was persistence, chapter 10 is going to be mastermind. Yeah, so let's
Hmm.
start with persistence. Uh, Yeah, it's just also like a good reminder to persist on your goals because usually people maybe give up too easily. You know, there's like a roadblock or something's happening in your life, and it's easy to like switch goals and be like, you know what, maybe it's okay, maybe I don't need it, and you know, I've definitely had things in my life like some goals where something happens, and then I'm like, for example, COVID hits, and I'm like, well, there's some legitimate excuses, but there's also some, you know, that maybe are
Hmm.
not that legitimate when it comes to like financial goals in my case, for example. But yeah, but in other areas of my life, persistence like has helped me with like fitness stuff and with dating stuff and things of that nature.
Right.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And for sure,
But
the
there's
stuff
definitely
that
been times when
you've
I. Mhm.
like the stuff that you've learned in those other categories, you can start to apply them in like everything.
Correct. Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah. What do you think of this chapter? What are your
I think yeah,
takeaways?
like this is exactly why the guy in the story, was it Barnes, that he the guy
Oh yeah, yeah.
that was digging for gold, right?
Mhm.
And because he gave up, he missed it, and the next guy got it. I just think about that. It's like if he would have just done more, he would have gotten there.
Right, 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 right.
But I guess he
Right.
lost faith, right? He must have lost faith and then given up.
But he learned his lesson and he got successful
Yeah. Yeah, when you
knowing the
yeah,
insurance.
dude, when you mess up that big, it's like you just learned a huge lesson.
But it's kind of nice. At least he applied the lesson of persistence. He didn't just
Right.
lay his arm. He tried something else in a different sphere of life and he
Right. He
succeeded.
moved to insurance, right? He sold insurance.
Yeah, he was really, really successful there.
Yeah, and he was really persistent in that field. Now that he knew, right? Like he said he would never accept a no, I think. Like he would never accept someone saying no.
Hmm. Never take no for an answer.
Right.
uh, that's awesome.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Right, but yeah, the chapter 9 talks about persistence, but it always goes back to the chapter 2. Is like first you need to know exactly what you want again. Uh, and yeah, I guess then put like a clear goal and just go step by step. And if you have like a quote unquote failure, you can learn from it.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah. I feel that's how I got to this point right now. Just screwing up a lot this year,
in
more
terms of
than
so
more than
not the financial stuff, but the other type of stuff, right?
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm just gonna say I fucked up a lot. And I got really big insights, but still I did have to fuck up a lot though.
That's true. That's true. But it's okay. It's okay to make quote unquote mistakes and learn from failure. Just like Thomas Edison, quote unquote, failed 1,000 times or 10,000 times before he invented the light bulb. You know?
I think I'm in that barn phase when he's like just opening or just starting to sell insurance. I think I'm in that phase, but just in a
Mm,
completely different context.
correct, correct, in different context.
Yeah.
Right, right, right. Well, yeah. Hmm.
But you
Want
know
to
what's
talk
funny
about
though?
some?
Like
Yeah.
this book doesn't mention stuff about like I guess happiness, right? It doesn't mention that.
Mm,
It's just how to get the thing.
it like teaches success principles, and I guess if you have those habits, the same with persistence. It's like a habit. In a book, it was written. It's like a habit instead of like, oh, some
Mm,
people are persistent, some are not. It's more like a
right.
habit, and you can
Right.
develop it. And once you have those good habits and those uh, quote unquote rich-minded habits instead of poverty, consciousness, then that could actually help in like other spheres of life when it comes to happiness and other things. Uh, but yeah, mostly here it's like talking about success consciousness
True, true.
and
Dude, this just came to
stuff like
mind. Like, persistence can be increased when faith is increased. That makes
that.
sense, right?
Right, right, right.
Because you're not gonna persist if you don't think it's gonna happen. But if you have that
Mm-hmm.
feeling that, like Elon, right? Like, there's like a 10% chance this thing might actually work, and I'm gonna go for it.
Exactly. So I still persistent. It's crazy.
Oof.
Right. Well, yeah, there's many more examples like the KFC guy. What's
Oh,
his
I
name?
love that
Sanders
story.
or something.
Yeah.
Like he only got successful like what at age 65 or something. And he was rejected like so many times by so many other like franchises and stuff.
Hmm.
So, but eventually he did make a successful fast food franchise. And yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a cool story.
It's finger
Same
looking
with
good.
Michael. Same with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Like
Dude.
Michael Jordan, he was like cut from his high school
Yeah,
basketball team,
you're right.
and he was like, that's when I took it personal. You can see that from the Netflix from the series. What it's called again? It's the
Last
Last
Dance,
Dance.
so good, man.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jesus.
Definitely watch that. Yeah, talking about that winner's mindset. Well, yeah, Michael Jordan was pretty freaking intense, but
Dude,
yeah,
so
he
was
was just a
Kobe.
kid. So was Kobe. He was like ranked like 56th high school prospect or something like that.
Mm.
And then he was one by one, he was checking these like people and like trying to beat them, and I actually beat them all in the end. He was just like, wait, who's better than me? Like, what the hell, He was just like,
Dude, and the
so
thing is,
yeah.
like, I think he said from the age of 14, he started just practicing the fundamentals every day
Mm-hmm.
in his
Mm-hmm.
field, which is his context is basketball, right? So like
Right.
he said like he just started to practice the fundamentals like consistently
Mm-hmm.
every day, waking up at 5 o'clock, and he just like reprogrammed himself. And
Mm-hmm.
imagine that, like spending one summer as a 14-year-old basketball player and scoring 0 points, right? When
He
you're
did that.
14,
Yeah, I remember.
dude.
He
And
did that.
then,
Yes.
so that was him at 14, and at 17, he was pro.
I forgot it was a four. I remember the story. I actually wanted to mention it. He scored like 0 points the whole summer.
Yeah,
Well, I thought he was younger. I thought he was like 11 or 12, but you say he's like 14.
I think he was
It's like
14.
holy crap!
And what's
Wow.
cool is that like I guess he felt bad about it, right? And then like he told his dad, and his dad said something like, "It doesn't matter how many points you score, I'm still gonna love you anyways." And then
That's awesome.
Kobe felt like, okay, so that's less pressure for me to like to not get crushed. Like, okay, but now I want to win though.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Winner's mindset. Awesome.
Or the story of Kobe in Las Vegas. Remember that one?
Which one? Which
The
one?
one where like the team was out clubbing and they came back to the hotel around 5 a.m. and they saw Kobe had just left the
Ah.
gym
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
had been working out since like 4 a.m.
Man, that sounds familiar. Yes. Yeah, it's intense. These winners, man.
That's cool, man. He consistently did that. Like that was like his thing.
Mm. Yes. That's true. Wish he would still be alive. That'd be great.
Yeah, right, man. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, anything else before we go on to the mastermind?
Yes, so how about I guess we could talk briefly about maybe symptoms of lack of persistence.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. One, procrastination
True.
with or without cause. Uh yeah.
And the good thing is like if you want to stop procrastinating, but you feel too lazy to do it, there's still a way.
Mm.
You can train
But
yourself the
what's the way
same.
though?
So like the same way you train a dog, right? Like when a dog does something, you give him a treat.
Mm.
So you can do the same thing to yourself. And I was doing it with gummy bears because
Oh, like
my brain loves gummy bears, but it's not addicted to them, but it still loves them. So I can use them sometimes. Or actually, I like to even to use some coconut juice as my
okay.
reward. Like so you reward yourself with something and your brain
For
will
example,
will Mhm.
you do like an exercise or something, and then
Yeah.
you reward. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Or even let's say you have a big project to do and you say like okay, I'll work on this for like 25 minutes and then I'll reward myself. So then you go and do that
Mm.
and then you intentionally reward yourself.
Okay, but with gummy bears, would you just eat one or two, or would you eat the whole pack?
One time I ate the whole pack and then that kind of like it was like way too much. I was like, dude, don't do that. So
Because
the
in my case,
most
I kind of like I have some sugar, I want to eat it all. You know, I kind of like
ah
say
right.
any sugar. Yeah, that's yeah.
But like first I was eating just one, then I would do two, then I would do three. It's like my drug tolerance was increasing. I would do three,
Okay.
and then one day I was like, what if I just eat the whole bag? And then I was like, nah, that was terrible. So
Okay.
maybe I should just stop at three gummies.
Okay. Okay. Well, at least you can limit to three. I have to eat the whole thing if I start. Anyway, another one is I guess lack of interest in acquiring
Oh
specialized
yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah, if you don't care,
Yeah.
you're not gonna do it for sure. If you don't care,
Hmm.
you're not gonna do it. The other one, like, oh,
Right.
failure to acquire specialized knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just yeah, interest like whatever. You know a lot of general stuff, but you're like who cares? You have this mindset maybe, you know.
You just didn't know enough at that moment. Maybe you didn't do enough research, I guess, right? Or just didn't have enough experience, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, just don't have interest in it, I guess. Okay, another quick one is indecision, which kind of relates to me a little bit, which
Ah,
is chapter 8,
okay.
right? So it's like, okay, I definitely have to work on this for sure. And also like backed by some alibis, as they say, or quote unquote excuses,
Yeah.
right? So
I mean, can
yeah.
can you say like from your experience, uh like an example of of indecision?
I mean, when it comes to like work and stuff, like, okay, should I go to this country? Should I do this? Or should I do that? Or should I do this? And then it takes forever to make a decision.
Mm,
And then once I make a decision, after a month or two, I change my decision and I want to do something completely else. Or maybe I listen to somebody, like a relative or somebody who doesn't mean to be like, you know, inconsiderate or whatever, but like, you know, maybe it's just like you're not firm in your personality back then I was younger, so I was like maybe listening still to other people what they have to
mm,
say about me, so I will like listen to them and be like, okay, instead of listening to my gut feeling and sticking to it, like in this chapter decision,
mm,
right, you have to make a decision and stick to it, like uh instead of like just like always being like, oh, should I do this and that, and still in my life I can see like I'm, you know, that's one of my sticking points for sure with
mm.
making decisions. That's why it really helps to have a quote unquote mastermind, which we're going to talk shortly, to have people around you, like minded people that you can talk about things like that and they can
Mm.
support you and give constructive feedback. Uh, you know, instead of just some random people from your circle, like friends, like some relatives or somebody like
Ah, right.
who are just like, you know, yeah, yeah.
I
So
guess like if you want to have conversations or specialized knowledge on a specific thing, then you gotta talk to the specific people for that stuff.
yeah. Specific or somebody who you can trust and they have their goals and values similar to yours, I would say.
Was it
So you can trust them.
do you know Dan Pena? I think it was Dan Pena.
Dan
Was it?
Pena, yeah, the $1 trillion man. Yeah.
Or Kiyosaki? I forget who said, but somebody said like don't take financial advice from your family if they're not rich.
100%, 100%, 100%. Just like you don't take dietary like habits from fat people, like, oh, you should do this and that. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of other examples of lack of persistence.
Yeah.
Uh, and then it talks about how to develop persistence. And again, it starts with chapter 2, which have like a definite purpose backed by burning desire. So you have to have
That's
definite
true, bro.
goal,
That's true.
and then definite plan, and then also close your mind towards negativity instead of listening to your maybe relatives, family, maybe or friends or somebody who doesn't maybe mean to be bad, but like, you know, or
Mm.
we're all social creatures and we're like, yeah, instead of like sharing your goals with everybody, you only maybe share your goal with like a tight circle. And yeah, step number 4 is also, yeah, just have like that friendly alliance that helps you push you forward. So yeah, so again, it starts with like definite purpose and a plan, and turn your eyes off from negativity and
Mm.
have like a close, tight group that they can help you and you can help them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like hopefully like your circle of friends is people that they can cheer for each other and like be happy
Yeah,
for
yeah,
each other and stuff, right? That's really helpful.
100%,
That's really helpful.
100%. It always helps when you have a friend and you have some new good news in your life and they're happy for you.
Yeah.
Uh, and like vice versa, like it's always good to have that mutual
Yeah.
thing instead of having being like envious. Like you have this like your friend has a good job or some new position and you're like jealous. Instead of that, it's good to be happy, you know, and like
Yeah, for
cheer for
sure.
one another. It's always better, and don't have that envy thing.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
the thing is
It's
like
natural, but yeah.
like those friends will feel that because it's like let's say that you get successful first and they see you do that and they get happy because it's like, okay, he just did that. That's cool. Like I'm coming next.
Mm.
It's like I'm coming next, so I don't even have to be angry about it because I'm next.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, always supporting each other. So yeah,
Sick.
awesome.
Was that all the mastermind stuff?
Oh, that was finishing up the persistence stuff. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I
Anything
think
else to add on persistence for you?
I think that was a good segue into mastermind because now we're talking about like fronts, like people like
Exactly,
sharing energy and
exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So collaborate with like-minded people, and you can see examples also in business and stuff. Like
Mm.
nobody's an island, right? And it's also the saying like you're the average of five people you hang out most with.
Yeah.
You heard about. So, for example, you hang out with five fat people, it's more likely you're gonna become fat, or you become with like
That's a good
five rich
experiment to
people.
make.
It's you're gonna become the sixth like rich person
All
if you
right.
hang out.
They say that too, right? Yeah.
Some with like healthy and like good habits, like fitness stuff, and so that's really important. Yeah.
I really like that in the guidelines for forming an effective mastermind group, one of the requirements is harmony of personalities. It says that mutual respect and trust are crucial for effective collaboration and avoiding personality clashes.
Mhm. Harmony of mind.
That's cool. So like people have to be like nice to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, like respect. Like maybe you have different opinions, but you still respect each other. You
Yeah,
have similar
exactly.
values, and you both, or like however many of people you are, you wanna like get better and achieve more, and you want to help one another.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He says Henry Ford had one. He had a
Yeah, yeah,
mastermind.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
makes
yeah. I think
sense.
so. Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard even people
Same with
like Da Vinci and stuff had them. I don't know if that's true. Might be, right?
mm. Yeah, there's something back in the day. This mastermind came from, I think, from like old French times in like 17, 18, whatever century, where people would hang out in like
Mm,
cafes and smart people and like talk about stuff. I think that's where the mastermind
cool.
thing comes from. It definitely comes from way, way, way before that.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so check this out. Like here it says the benefits of the mastermind, they include stimulation of ideas, right? Like brainstorming, making new ideas,
correct.
moral support, where your group can also be like accountability buddies
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
provide you encouragement.
Correct,
Um,
correct.
and then the third is specialized knowledge. I guess like
Mm,
learning like expertise about the specific thing you're trying to get.
mm.
And that gives you
Right,
better, I guess like that improves your decision making if you have more information, I guess.
right. Yeah, it's definitely good. Have a mastermind. Maybe meet like once a week or once every 2 weeks. You can do
Yeah.
it on over Zoom or in person. Uh, just
Yeah.
discuss about maybe your plans about, for example, your following week, what you're gonna do in terms of your health, in terms of your wealth, or whatever your specific goal is.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can each talk about your plans and talk about your last week, and you can keep each other accountable. Or you can talk about, you could probably, uh, you know, you can meet up for other purposes too. Maybe it's because to discuss a specific book, like you have a book club, or you have other type of like quote unquote mastermind that
Mm.
you need because Like two minds are definitely much smarter than just one single mind trying to
That's true,
figure
man.
everything out, right?
That's true. Did I just realize that when I went to India for TED, that was with a spiritual mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right,
just thought
100%.
about that now. And the purpose of that mastermind is I that's a good question actually. What just to
Which one?
be
That specific
yeah, that's
mastermind?
that specific mastermind, the purpose pretty much is like to be happy in the present. I don't
Correct, correct.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the objective.
right. And definitely helps to have people around, right? Instead of you
Yeah.
traveling by yourself and figuring things out on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have some people you can share the reference experience you had together.
Yeah, it's fun to like yeah, like learn more about that together. Like and then in that group's case, like knowing how we sometimes accidentally create our own misery.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we
Becoming
can
more
stop
aware.
doing that. Exactly, yeah, become more aware.
Yeah. Not being perfect at it, but at least becoming
Yeah.
more aware. Yeah, yeah.
Then but also like masterminds can be just even just two people, right? So I feel like you and I have started a mastermind on this book.
Right, 100%. Yeah, yeah. The minimum is two people.
Yeah. So then Grant and I are masterminding I guess spirituality actually. Yeah.
Mm.
So like
Nice.
I told you that like I started this podcast because I wanted to find that intersecting pattern, right, between these different things.
Mm. Right. That's correct.
So I think like yeah, we're just having fun doing that. Just finding that pattern over and over again.
Yeah, it's awesome meeting different people and like sharing life experiences. Like definitely
But
helps in your own life
one
as
thing
well.
I could not I failed to answer like one of my friends she asked me what is the pattern? But then that's hard to how do you explain that?
What do you mean by pattern?
Like some kind of like universal pattern. I don't know if that makes sense.
Like some universal principles or something? Like universal laws?
So, damn. You've heard of Taoism, right?
Taoism? Yeah.
And Tao, like the word Tao just means like the way. That's it. It just means the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like they always say in like in the Tao Te Ching book, like the Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. It's like when you try to when you try to describe what the thing is, like that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it because
Exactly.
it's too abstract. You can't actually describe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how do you describe
Yeah.
synchronicity? That's weird.
Okay. Yeah. It's feels perplexing to describe things like
Or
that.
some people say like they'll call it something else. Like what do they call it? Serendipity.
Serendipity.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, it's a weird word to be honest.
I think Carl Jung has the story that he was talking to a patient and
Mm-hmm.
she was telling him about a specific insect from Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to describe it to him, and then something was hitting his window. So he opens the window, and then an insect flew into the room, and it was the same one that she was talking about.
Oh,
So
well,
then he
that's a
was
coincidence, isn't it?
right, like some people call it coincidence, but he was like, that's so weird because we're in England. How did that insect just happen to fly in here? And so then he tried to recreate that in like a laboratory experiment, right? Like, but he always failed, so he couldn't recreate like how to make synchronicity or coincidence, right?
Right.
But he
But
has an
we also have
entire
this
book
thing.
on that topic.
Right. But we also have this thing in our mind which is called the reticular activating system,
Mm,
or RIS to keep it short. It's like basically what we're focusing on, right? For example, I remember when I was like 19, 18, I wanted to buy my first car. I
mm,
wanted to buy like a Volkswagen Golf. number 4 or 3, something like that. And I was like focusing on that a lot. I was always scrolling online, like what kind of car I could buy, etc., etc. And then I would just see constantly those cars on the street, like everywhere. Like I suddenly notice it everywhere, right? That's like it's insane. But yeah, basically what we focus on is like it can change from thing to thing. Like for example, also in a relationship, like you're together with somebody. At first, you're like in love, you love each other, you like each other a lot, stuff like that. But then something happens, and maybe you separate or something, or you break up, and suddenly, for example, your ex-girlfriend, or in your case, maybe you see her or she sees you in a completely different light. Instead of she's being like, "Oh, he's awesome, he's doing this for me, he's this and that, he's awesome, great guy." Like I feel love and just amazing emotions when I'm around him, and suddenly something changes, and the RS is focusing on all the negative stuff. It's like, "Oh, screw this guy, he screwed me over, or he's this and that." It's like it's interesting how things can change because of just where we
Ah,
put our focus on, right? So yeah, it's
true. Like
interesting.
your perception can change your entire experience of reality.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Which is trippy when you think like, what if you can choose your perspective? Then you can choose what reality even means to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody else is telling us their own version of it.
But what is reality
Right, what is
in
it?
reality?
It's like we're just like in this metaverse. We're just here like playing this
Yeah,
life
and
game.
you cannot explain it. Kind of explain it.
Yeah, it should be fun. Like it should be like it's like Alan Watts said, like we take for serious what the gods take for fun.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
then
it
comes
should be like a game.
Neil deGrasse Tyson saying like, "Oh, you know, like the carbon and all this shit in your body, like it
Mm.
comes from supernovas. So actually, like you're not really just in the universe, but the universe is in you."
Right. That's some trippy stuff.
It's trippy.
It's
Because then
trippy.
this is like a segue into like law of attraction conversations because they'll say like, why would law of attraction work? And then it's like, well, why would it not work?
Right. Right.
It's like, what if you are the whole universe? Then fucking then do universe things.
Right. As Alan Watts said, you're just a god playing hide and seek with yourself. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be boring if you're just alone and like, there's nobody to play with. You're just like,
Yeah,
well,
like
let's create this reality where you suffer and you're gonna die. Let's just fuck it. Otherwise it's just boring if you get everything you want just like that. You know.
true. Yeah, there's no movie.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's no plot, nothing going on. It's boring. Yeah. Yeah.
Then I wonder how some monks they can like yeah, like so the monks we went to India for TED and we went to a specific town called
Mm-hmm.
Tiruvannamalai where they have this holy mountain called Arunachala. And in the mountain,
Okay.
many enlightened masters have decided to live there and be buried there when they die.
Cool.
So we got to chill
Okay.
there, and we got to go to the caves and meditate in there and stuff.
Okay. How was the quote unquote aura in there? The vibrations that you felt. Did you feel anything special
Dude,
or
really chill, man. Now that you
nice?
said, now that you mentioned that, it was really chill. Like within the ashram, like when you go outside, then it's like it's hectic India, you know? Like,
Yeah, of course, of course.
dude,
Yeah.
I got to drive a motorbike just for a few minutes because I drove one of our friends to the bathroom. So, but I drove for like 5 minutes in India. Like, I feel proud of
Nice.
that.
That's nice. That's nice. How about the celibacy thing? Are they practicing celibacy, the monks
The monks
there?
aren't they? Yeah, I'm sure they are.
That's
Yeah.
hardcore stuff.
I mean, didn't Jay Shetty do it? He did it for like 3 years, right?
Yeah. But it's actually easier when you meditate to not feel those urges, and also you eat vegetarian food. It's also easier.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, when you meditate, you kind of, yeah. But I mean, it depends. But if you suppress those desires, yeah, it can come up in messed up ways as well.
They probably
You
just
know.
transmute it, right? I guess they know how to do transmutation.
Yeah, if they do practice of meditation correctly, maybe they can. But yeah, but Osho was like screw that. Like his parents were like, either you're gonna work like a household person, or you're gonna be a monk, but you're gonna be celibate. He was like, screw that. I'm gonna be in the middle, right? The perfect narrow road. I'm gonna walk the narrow road, right? I'm not gonna do this, that. I'm gonna mix it together. Just have a blast life. And so
Yeah, they told him like, hey, monks aren't supposed to do this, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
yeah. Yeah, he was like, what? I'm not gonna deny my body. Are you fucking kidding me? It's funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
any last thoughts about chapter 9, persistence, and chapter 10, mastermind?
I just I just hope that someday like people listening, like there is something that they desire so much so they can know what this feels like. Because it's really intense. And also it feels nice to have faith. It feels nice to have faith. And
Right.
and 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 you don't have to be religious at all. Like I am
Yeah,
0%
yeah, yeah.
religious. I have faith
Right,
in
right.
something. I don't know what that is. I have faith in, what do you call it? The pattern, the Tao, whatever you want to call it. It's hard to explain what that is, but there's just this like pattern that keeps getting more and more, like just keeps revealing itself.
Mhm. Right. Awesome. Deep stuff.
That's why, dude, that's why like when you start to research, let's say like Native American philosophy, or like Native American wisdom, right? Like that, like ancient, like Native American wisdom, it matches with Taoism, it matches with Buddhism, it matches with those different Advaita Vedanta from India.
Right. So there is a pattern, something like
There's
that.
some weird pattern that is like transcending everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
We got about 2 minutes, bro. You got any final thoughts?
Well, yeah, I guess when it comes to persistence, I just again have a specific goal and just be resilient with it, even if you have some setbacks. Like, just still keep pushing. Like, believe in yourself, have faith, and at least try. Like, because there's nothing to lose. Like, we're not gonna get out of this life alive anyway, so you might as well try.
Right.
Right. And like,
Yeah.
also have like positive circle of friends that like help you keep having like a nice head on your shoulders. You can think
Yeah,
clearly, and
true.
they can help you, and you can help them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's helpful to have friends that they have a feeling that like that anything can be done. It's like, oh, you want to open a shop?
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. You should do it. Like,
It's nice to have friends that don't have limiting beliefs. Like, we all have it
yeah, we all
internally,
we
but
all
it's
yeah, we all have some left. But we're all doing our
Mhm.
best to like remove them.
Yeah, we're trying, but we can sometimes, you know, sabotage ourselves, right? Because
Yeah,
we're
some
too afraid of success, or
that could
something.
happen. Or like if you
So
didn't experience some kind of success for a long time and then you want to experience it, it
mm,
might feel like painful to your ego because it has to shift its identity into like, okay, I'm somebody who can succeed now. Like it feels weird to succeed when you haven't prepared yourself to like, okay, I'm someone who can succeed.
right. Ooh, awesome, bro.
All right, bro. I'll see you next time.
All right, I'll see you.
Yeah, next time is
Peace.
transmutation.
Oh, sex transmutation. That's the best one. You have to stick to that, guys. That's gonna be a very interesting chapter. Yes, yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right.
See you, man.
Peace, guys. Bye.